Well, I got time today. Welcome to the realm of Millenia. Be ye man, woman, child, a spirit creature, or a demon. Be ye a native migrator, or maybe even an invader into the realm. Welcome, for I am your host, the Millenian Mailman, here today. And this is week 41. Week 41 hot take for the week is going to be, hey! People have been talking about how the first step is the hardest step. No, it is most certainly not the hardest step. The hardest step is absolutely not the first step. Even if it is statistically the hardest step, that is solely because people are too lazy to take steps. I know I was a fat child. Let my mother tell it the way she loves to tell it. I was not walking at the age of, what, was it 5? She was so concerned that I'd probably get set up in a wheelchair because I would literally just refuse to walk up until the age of 5. And then, around like age 5, 6, I was literally just standing. I could sit down and I could stand up, and I would shake and I would normally lean on something. So by the age of 7, she's like, your fat ass is too fucking heavy. Pardon the language. Yeah, your butt is too freaking heavy. So she just refused to hold me anymore, and she ultimately was like, absolutely not. Nope, you're gonna have to crawl everywhere. She said either walk or crawl. And I said, screw that, I'm gonna start running. I was running. Oh, it was great. I'm telling you, I was not a walker. She pulled out these documents from KinderCare, where all the employees at KinderCare, this daycare for children, before I started going to regular school, and it's like, yeah, we don't think he can walk. I was like 4 or 5, and the staff was like, I don't think he can walk. And that was a genuine concern of hers. And then 6, 7, freaking stupid generation. At the age of 6 or 7, I was still getting letters from elementary schools being sent to mom like, are you sure he can walk? And when mom put her foot down and was like, nah, I'm not carrying your fat ass no more. You better figure it out and crawl. I just started running everywhere. And that was the new thing. It's like, he's running everywhere. And it wasn't until like 8, 9 when I started actually talking fluently back to people, because I was always pretty antisocial, despite how extroverted I was, trying to always be involved. I just refused to talk. I was a quiet kid, one might say. And they got the explanation, like, why are you always running? We're going to get you in trouble and you're going to be regretting every last bit of it. Why are you running? Because I don't like walking. That is what it turned down to. I said, either you're going to pick me up and carry me, or I'm going to run to get off my feet because I don't like this. I don't like this. I hate walking, so I will absolutely run everywhere, or you're going to carry me everywhere. And they said, you know what, that's fine. Just don't bump into people. And I got away with it for a good 2-3 years, up until the age of 10-ish. And they're like, oh no, you're going to be moving on to middle school. We can't have you doing this. And guess what? I got in trouble most of middle school, and definitely a lot of high school. I won't say all of high school, but most of high school. We're like, hey man, you can't be running like this everywhere. You can't be doing that. Well, guess what? You're going to suspend me? You're going to expel me for walking despite my honor rolls? Despite me being in the top 10% of all test takers in this grade? You going to do it? Bet. Are you? I don't think so. Right? You're going to suspend me for not liking to walk in the halls? Go fuck yourself. Hey, you can't do that when you grow up. You're going to get so many speeding tickets if you can't slow down. Well, guess what? I'm going to be in prison like a proper black man. Fuck you. But I get off topic. I digress from the topic. The actual topic is about how the hardest step is most certainly not the first step. That's just a marker of how lazy you are, right? You're just lazy if you refuse to take steps. And that was my marker. I was refusing to take steps up until the age of 7, when people were basically saying, we're not going to let you do this no more. We're not going to pick you up. We're not going to enable you to not get on your own 2 feet no more. I was lazy and I was being enabled to a certain degree for a really, really long time. And I'm still mad at everybody for it. But the first step is absolutely not the hardest step. The first step is just the barrier that divides those daring enough or willing enough to stop hesitating and start moving. But those first steps, the very first step, those first steps, and I dare say most of the steps you take after that are not even half as hard as the steps much later to come, right? The true hardest steps in life to success, to any measure of greatness, or even mild excellence, or even mediocrity, the true hardest steps are the steps you take when, after those first steps, when you have to convince yourself, hey, I want to keep going. The hardest steps in life, or anything for that matter, are the steps you take when you know good and full well, I don't want to step anymore. The first step is not the hardest step. It's one of the easiest. Even statistically, the first step is one of the easiest steps because anyone and everyone can do it. If you're not paraplegic, I'm sorry if you are. Right? The first step is by far not at all a hard step, let alone the hardest step. The hardest step, and the hardest steps you'll ever have to take in life, or anything you do in life, is and will always be the step you take and the steps you're taking after you get tired. First step isn't the hardest step. Those steps you take after things get tough, the steps you take after all the support dies down, when you're leaving people behind so that you yourself can be successful, those are the hardest steps in life and anything that you do. Don't let anyone lie to you and try to comfort you out of being a better version or being better for yourself. The first step isn't the hardest step. It's the subsequent steps you take in trying to better yourself and being better for yourself that are truly hard as hell. Right? It's not the first step. But hey, that might be getting a little deep there. It might just be a little deep. So let's dial it back. That is the hot take for week 41. First step isn't the hardest step. Right? So much rain. I got a haircut recently, so Lord knows I am fully bald again. And I've walked in the rain a million times before. And I don't think I've ever noticed that the rain just loves accumulating on my lip. Maybe it's because maybe there's like a certain level of beard or mustache or hair that makes it relatively impossible for water to accumulate on you. Right? Like the hair itself is a barrier. And not just like a mild barrier, but like a real barrier stopping it. But I've had to wipe my lips so much today. kind of look like I'm blowing my nose, man. But man, so much rain accumulating on my lip and on my chin. It's annoying as well. But hey, so much rain on my phone too, that just made it worse. Oh man, that's pretty bad. But yeah. Oh, wet dog. You don't even have a leash on, so you're just willfully being wet outside the garage. What a poor puppy, what a poor puppy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have before I digress. Hi puppy. Morning, how are you doing today, boss?
Just saying hello.
Stay safe. Always, always. But hey, I digress. Be ye man, woman, child, spirit, future, or demon. This has been your Millenia Mailman, and I hope you enjoyed my little world building here. Hey, that's just me, your Millenia Mailman, and I'll be world. Nope. That's more intro. Where is my outro? Dude. I guess we're skipping the outro just for the finisher. Peace, love, happiness, all the best of things to you. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel like it. Peace, love, happiness, don't forget it. Bye.